So, greetings all. I am Scott of Scott's Case Files, the Twitch channel you're watching, and this is our first session 0 of the Monster of the Week campaign down the road. And above me, if you're looking at Twitch, not for you guys back, are actually part of the party, over at the stars of the show, my players. So I'm gonna go right to introducing them. Here to my upper this way, we have Cassie, who rejoins us. She was in the Blaze in the Dark campaign several months ago, and we welcome her back. Hey, Cassie.
Oh, what's going on?
Cassie is overjoyed and mostly speechless to be part of this campaign. Let me tell you. I mean, she was in tears before, just in joy, and she's really holding it together right now. So I'm so thankful for that. All right, so next we have Emily.
Hello.
Emily joins us brand new player on Scott's Case Files, and it just so happens. Oh no, we're dropping off already. It just so happens that Emily is an experienced Monster of the Week keeper.
Yep.
Yes, and this is, as she just pointed out, this is her first time actually getting to play the game, though she's actually run a whole bunch of them. So, welcome aboard, Emily. Welcome to the group.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and as a note, as we go, I've actually never run this before. I've run other Powered by the Apocalypse games like Urban Shadows and Masks, and there's of course the similarity, but there's a great difference too. So I don't have the kind of ego where I would be upset if Emily jumped in and corrected me or gave me advice right on stream. That's completely acceptable, and I'm groovy with that. So yes, it's totally groovy, and I appreciate it. I appreciate expertise wherever I can find it.
It feels different on this side of the table already.
Already, well, good job. I've accomplished something. I'm giving you new experiences. Something said for that. Over here, we have Jason, also joining us, fresh in Scott's Case Files. Jason has done some other streams before. I may recognize him from other places. I don't know offhand which, because I have a crappy memory. But hey, Jason.
Yeah, the most recent stream I was on was the Blades in the Dark stream that was over on Valdrian's and just wrapped up a few weeks back.
Excellent. And already he's jumping in the water, getting wet with Monster of the Week. Good job. Very brave, Jason. Very brave. And last but certainly not least, possibly the biggest personality of them all, Brian over here.
I'm so excited to be playing. This is my first time with Monster of the Week, but I promise not to slow everyone down.
You're going to do fine. So yeah, also a total newbie to Monster League and Scott's Case Files, so welcome aboard. It's going to be fun. So first things first, I'm going to do the intro video, get that out of the way. It's kind of like my opening credits to the show type of thing. So just like all good shows, you have like a little bit of flavor, a little bit of the taste of what the episode's going to happen, and suddenly they hit you with the intro, and then you go to commercial. We do not have commercials, thank goodness, but we do have intro videos. So I'm going to pop that on. When we get back, we'll start kind of learning about Monster of the Week and the players and their characters. So hold tight.
Nature of your emergency. Please send help. It has fangs and claws. It's not. Please. Oh no. It's coming. It's too late.
Miss, it's going to be okay. Miss, it's done.
Tabs are the devil.
Tabs are indeed the devil. And we're back. So, cool. So, first things first, Monster of the Week is basically, again, it's kind of, there's a certain couple, 3 franchises out there with the numbers filed off. This is basically, hunting monsters, hunting things that go bump in the night. And these are the hunters that do it. These are the ones who know about the supernatural world and get out there and actually get their hands literally dirty, sometimes with blood, a lot of times with blood, and take them out, protect the unknowing populace, and that kind of thing. So it's a really cool game. I like the feel of it. Having run a couple other Powered by the Apocalypse and like Urban Shadows, again with supernatural creatures, but on the other side more or less. And again, this is a really cool game. I'm going to enjoy running it, and it's going to be interesting campaign. Again, we got some really great characters. I've as my normal protocol, I've generally asked my participants, the players, to kind of get an idea of their character, but don't develop every single thing, because that's what session 0 is for. And as Emily is hiding, they have not done that. They have pretty much created the whole character, but we're still going to go through the process on here. It's hard not to talk about your character, and I really want to hear about your characters, so I get it. Picking up what you're putting down, it's okay. So yeah,
Well,
it's all right. It's right, and I love the enthusiasm, so we're good to go.
yeah. Well, I haven't did any of the mechanics. I just have some ideas of what I would like to play.
Fair enough. And so as a note, one of the things, and I kind of try to put this out there with each campaign, but one of the things, one of the reasons I do actual plays is because I want them to be used as like learning tools for people who are new to games. I know that when I'm looking to get into a new game, I look for actual plays on YouTube and whatnot. And that's where this is eventually going. So I kind of want to pay it forward, do my own thing, make it easier for someone to get into games that I really like. So this is that way I do it. So we're going to kind of take the time, even when we get to a point where, people are knowing things, I'm still going to kind of try to take us through our paces to kind of show what's going on. And at times, and as keeper, I have my own moves and my own things to do. And at times I'm going to kind of verbally explain what I'm doing for the teaching purpose. So just kind of get used to that. So why don't we just jump straight in? So
that just gives us more opportunities to shake our fists at you.
Yes, please
Making
shake
our life
all the
difficult.
fists. Yes, and I mean that's, again, if it was all easy, anybody could do it. But here the hunters are.
We would have succeeded too if it wasn't for that meddling straw.
Something like that. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to do kind of like a phased introduction of characters. So let's start with and by the way, as part of the Powered by the Apocalypse protocol, generally during the game I'm going to address myself to the characters, not the players, unless that's specifically a player question. That's where I kind of differentiate out of character and in character type of stuff. So let's start with Dumas, played by Cassie. So what is and again I'll kind of do what I did for Kids on Brooms. What's the 50 words or less story on Dumas, the Divine? That's 3.
I was talking about her as like a sad angel biker.
Angel biker. That's succinct. That's less than 50 words. So that's you're a rule obeyer, Cassie. So
Yes.
Angel biker. So okay, let me just delve a little deeper. What's an angel doing as a biker on the earthen plane, if you will?
Well, she was exiled to Earth for being in rebellion against God, basically.
As you do.
And she possessed a mortal on the brink of death, and like their memories and emotions got all jumbled up. And
Like by they, you mean both of them? Both of their memories and emotions?
yes.
Neat.
And so now they're trying to figure out what's going on, and hide from the watchful eyes of heaven and such.
Excellent. Cool. All right. How about let's see. Next we have Darcy the Crooked, played by Emily. Tell us about Darcy in 50 words or less.
She's a car thief.
Damn it!
No.
Damn it! You and your succinct descriptions.
Yeah, she used to be a car thief. She's not actively stealing
No.
cars right now.
No.
Also used to be a burglar. Just kind of, her family fell on hard times. She resorted to not so legal means to support herself. At some point it became more about personal gain. But now she's sort of running from her past in an RV while she hunts monsters.
As you do. Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. That's 50-ish words or less. Good job. And we're going to learn more about each of the characters as we go to the next stage. I kind of want to break it up here. So next we have Hawk, the Mundane, played by Jason. Jason, what's Hawk all about?
Okay, well, to keep this in line with what everyone else has done, Hawk's a skater punk.
Okay.
Yes, I know. Hawk's lean, athletic woman who likes to be on wheels of all sorts, mostly her skateboard, but has also done roller derby and similar things. She has kind of a take no shit, give no fucks kind of attitude.
As you do.
Was kind of bouncing around between dead-end jobs when, by random chance, she met this incredibly adorable and brave and ferocious dog named Fenrir. And, well,
the rest will be history. All right, good enough. Excellent. All right. And again, last but not least, we have Charles the Wronged, played by Brian.
My name is Charles Wolfhammer. That's not wolf, that's Wolfhammer. I'm 45 years old. And if you wish to know about me, I could just say the best word that comes to mind is I'm pissed. I am pissed and full of rage.
As you do.
Now, if you want to know more about my past, I took my family, my wife, my son, my daughter. We went to the Canadian wilderness, and I met an old Native American man, and he told me about the Wendigo. Now, I didn't believe him. I went hunting. I left my beloved Fenrir to protect my family. But unfortunately, the first thing I see is Fenrir running through the woods towards me. So I knew there was danger. I didn't make it in time. That monster tore my family apart. So yes, rage is all I am.
Excellent. Rage. We'll get you the t-shirt. Good job. Awesome. Cool. So again, as I kind of note, actually with each campaign I do, it's kind of cool. So we quite obviously, we have 4 different types of role players here. We have 4 different personalities, 4 different ways of coming at everything. And I think we're already picking up on that, which is awesome, which is great. I love it. And that just makes for an even better story. So I'm very excited about this. So it's very cool. So let's do this. Let's start looking at character sheet stuff. And one of the reasons I love Powered by Apocalypse games is, generally speaking, they are really, really simple to roll up characters. I've run Masks and Urban Shadows at a convention doing one shot, and they're just easy. You can set up a character in no time flat and still feel like you're kind of giving it your own personality, your own, feel, that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. So let's go straight into the character sheet, and let's see. So we have, I'm going to use Dumas just for illustration purposes. Let's see here. So, all right. So we already have name, gender, playbook, divine. So, and kind of another kind of cool thing. So Evil had actually set up these what do you call it? These character sheets. So they kind of auto fill in with just the right stuff. So Cassie selected the divine, and we should already be seeing kind of like the stuff for the divine. The divine has a mission that they have to pick out. And of course, each playbook has their own moves, and we'll kind of get to what moves and whatnot are shortly. So first, to kind of give my players something to do while I kind of go through the basics, why don't you all? I've been trying to. I go you guys, but I'm not playing with all guys. So I'm like desperately trying to get in the habit of saying you all or you or y'all, but y'all, I just can't pull it off. It's just not me.
Yeah,
Not
y'all.
southern enough.
I'm not Southern. I'm so far north of the Mason-Dixon. I'm not Canadian, but yeah.
I mean, I am Canadian, but I have no trouble saying all y'alls.
Okay. You're gonna stop that now. Okay.
All y'all.
Would rather I say a boot?
Yeah, actually, I love that. No, yeah, do your thing. So let's start. I'll have you guys start kind of filling out your sheet. So let's go. Fill out name, gender, playbook, your look, and kind of go down. So like if you go actually on into the Monster of the Week like instructions, it's even easier to follow the various playbook setups. So basically, the playbooks themselves, if you get them, are they start off with basically things you can circle. You like your looks. So here's man, woman, boy, girl, androgynous. Pick one, and you circle that, and boom, there you go. And make a couple extra circles, and suddenly you have a cohesive look. And from there, basically, it's picking out sets of ratings or attributes. So and that's basically you have choice of what kind of hunter of this type do you want to be. So once you guys go ahead and fill out those and start looking at your moves. Meanwhile, I'll kind of go through things for your benefit also, again, if you're new to the game, but for those playing at home also, let's check things out. So along the left side here, you're going to see ratings, attributes basically. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they each do different things. They basically you have charm. Charm is basically, again, your cult of personality. Your kind of like how easily you can manipulate people, and that's pretty much what it's for, manipulating people. You have then your cool, how you act when you're under pressure. In fact, that's one of the moves that it influences, act under pressure.
Hey.
Yes. So you have so cool. So yeah, how you are kind of keep it together when the dice are rolling and the cards are down and blood is flying. How do you do your thing? Sharp is basically how observant you are, how quickly you react to things, that kind of thing. Tough. How tough are you? How tough are you? How much damage, not necessarily how much damage you can take, that's a bad way of putting it. How apt you are to deal with damage that you take. And finally, weird is basically supernatural prowess, magic abilities, how good you are with that whole hocus pocus thing. So yeah. And
we don't have to worry about that. It's kind of weird.
Okay, Jason, I make the jokes. I'm not sure if we established that or anything. I kid, you're allowed to joke. No, but yeah, so those are the stats. There's only 5 of them. You expect maybe more. Now if you'll notice, I'm gonna kind of bring Duma down. So so you have those are your abilities. You also have what they aren't skills. They really aren't. They're moves. They're things you do. And there aren't many of them, which is really cool. So you can, if you look here, and I use these on my stream because what do you call it? Evil Hat makes these quite readily available on the site. Anyone in the whole wide world, whether they've owned the game or not, can download them. So I just put these, I use them on my site again as kind of teaching tools. But yeah, there's not many of them. And most of these are stuff that aren't actually moves per se. So like another cool thing I love about Power by Apocalypse games is once you learn the very basics of the game, and you have your character sheet, and you have this play sheet or this move sheet, as a player, you're just ready to go. You never have to read a book. You're done. It's all fine. You're good. As the keeper or the game master, you have to know a bit more. But for the player side of the table, it's very simple to learn. And again, that's why I loved running it at the convention. And I'll be doing it again at some point. The only negative of running a convention game, by the way, is you have to talk constantly and loudly, and I do neither of those regularly. So at the end of a day, I am just torn up. So there's that. So yeah, so let's do this. And I kind of want to go over the moves at the moment, and this is for you at home also, or you my players also, is because each of the attributes or whatever you want to call them, they are related to a move. So you'll notice, for example, kick some ass. Oh my god, we aren't supposed to swear on this stream. Oh, I'm kidding. No, that you had to click something to allow yourself to watch this. So profanity is A-O-fucking-K. So good job. All right, so kick some ass. You'll notice that there's several parts of each move. And this is this is the beauty of this system and why I love it so much. So here we are, the name of the move, the trigger for the move. So basically, as you play a Power by the Apocalypse game, there are two kind of situations where I'm basically going to just have you play, and when you do something, I say, hey, by the way, it looks like you just triggered this move, so let's go ahead and roll for this, because you just did it. And in Power by the Apocalypse, you if you want to make the move, you make the move. You do the thing to make the thing happen. Otherwise, it can also be like, hey, I want to investigate this or something. Like, okay, well, show me how you're investigating it. You don't trigger the move until you do the thing. So this kind of tells you what the trigger is. So when you get into a fight and kick some ass, then boom, some of these triggers roll tough. In anything, let's see, anything 6 or below, basically you roll 2d6 and add your tough. So for example, let's say the 2d6 came out to a 3, your tough is 3, so you just roll a 6. So that's what's called a miss. So another cool thing about Power by the Apocalypse is a miss is not necessarily a failure. In fact, I find it's more interesting for it not to be a failure. It can be, you can actually still succeed in the thing, but something went wrong, whether you realize or not, that kind of thing. So should you actually succeed, so on a 7+, you get to do what's here. On a 10+, you get to do what's here. And you'll notice, let's see, so like, for example, over here you have a 7+ and a 10+. Over here you have a 10+ and a 7 to 9. So the difference here is basically that for help out, if you roll a 7 to 9, you do these things. If you roll a 10+, you do these things, and the two don't meet. In this one, for example, you have a 7+ and you have a 10+. Let's say you roll a 10. Well, that's over a 7, so you do this too. So yeah, and you basically gives you extra things. You also have you can see like little advanced moves here, right? And that's basically as people get better at their playbook, they spend experience, advanced moves are possible, and they make it easier or more efficient to do a move. So that's when the advanced thing comes in. Presently, none of these guys have advanced anything. Cool. So that's how that works.
You can kick some ass. I'll chew the bubble gum.
Exactly. There is no move for that. And here's a cool thing. There isn't a move for everything. And that's cool. That's all right. In most basic terms, it means the game doesn't care about that thing. Like the one I always bring up is there is no lock-picking skill here. And that's because the game doesn't care about lock-picking. It just cares about what's on the other side of the door. And are you going to get there or not? And you can kind of bring that about in other ways. So you don't care if you're a really good lockpicker, unless you have like a custom move or a playbook move that kind of makes it better. So in addition to basic moves, each playbook has their own moves, which are kind of rule breakers, get to do something different or better. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's start out, let's see here. since I have Dumas open, you can see, so Cassie has chosen, so charm -1. So she's not looking to convince anybody or change anybody's mind of anything. She has a cool one, which is nice. So whenever she rolls, something that requires cool, like a cool under pressure. What am I looking for? I have to look that up. Act under pressure. Excuse me.
Cool coverage, act under pressure, and
Yep.
help out.
Yep. Yeah, so either of those two, she'll add that. So she's okay at that. That's not bad. Sharp. So noticing things is 0. Yeah, not so much. So she might not be helping out so much investigation, but it's not negative. Tough. So she has a 2, so she's definitely able to take a punch and then some. And then a point in weird, and so yeah, she's a little magical. Aren't we all? According to Mother. All right. Let's see here. So I kind of want to get you guys rolling stuff up. I'm assuming you've been going along. Have you picked out some playbook moves already?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
I've got
So
one, but I'm not really sure which direction I was going to take my character, which would then inform the other ones I would end up taking.
sure.
But
And
kind of figure I'd wait and see what people are doing.
Okay. Yeah. And again, it's kind of like what I mentioned before is your moves here help make kind of flesh out your character. So since I was picking on Dumas before, let's pick on Darcy now, going down the road, so to speak, and let's look at some moves. So let's see here. So let's see, we have so everyone gets all the basic moves we just kind of looked at. We'll go over those later. But in addition, the Crooked, which is what Darcy is, gets to pick 2 of the actual playbook moves. So here we've picked Artifact. You found a magical artifact with handy powers and kept it. Pick 1, and they've picked Skeleton Key. Opens any magically sealed lock. And also Driver. You gain +1 ongoing. So +1 ongoing means as long as you're doing this thing, you add +1 to your roll for whatever that is. So +1 anytime that Darcy's doing driving stuff, add +1. Plus, you can hotwire anything. Handy. And you own 2 vehicles. So we know that there's a Winnebago involved, and I won't take all of Darcy's thunder on that one. Is there another vehicle that you've chosen?
I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want, like make and model, but I'm thinking that maybe since you've been generous in letting me have an RV and another car, I want to have an old, loud truck. Like, I'm talking when they were still making trucks with just 2 seats at the front and then everybody else had to go in the trunk.
Cool. Does it get towed by the RV?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm down
It'll
with this.
be what we use for driving around town, but I wanted to give it the vehicle tags of old and loud, which means it's not necessarily reliable.
Right. So, and thank you for bringing up tags. So tags are things that are put on objects mostly, that kind of give me as a keeper a description of like how they're used. So right now, Alita said that the truck's tags are old and what's the other one?
Loud.
Old and loud. So basically, when they're trying to do a quiet getaway, I'm like, oops, nope, sorry, you're in the loud vehicle. So probably somebody's going to notice, or maybe that feeds into a miss on a move or something like that. And that'll be more apparent how that works as we go later on. But yes, so tags are real cool. They're used a lot on weapons. What range a weapon can be used at, the effect of the weapon, etc., etc. Cool.
I just thought it would be fun and to put more tools in your DM toolbox.
Yeah, there you go. I'm good with it. So you'll notice I don't think on every playbook, but on select ones, there are kind of these background, in this case, background, heat, underworld. So this is helping the Crooked play their role. kind of giving them something to work with, like where they came from, how they discovered things. But we'll get to that shortly. So I'm going to give Jason a pass, since Jason kind of wants to hang out and see how things develop. And let's go to Charles. All right. So Charles Wolfhammer, the Wronged. So the Wronged is very much the, rough him up, shoot him up, blow him up character, who takes no shit, bleeds a lot himself and makes others also bleed and that type of stuff, and is kind of geared for that kind of stuff. So again, we can kind of briefly look over at the the attributes over here, and we see the major ones are like in tough, and what do you call it? Tough, sharp, charm. Interestingly enough, weird, not so much. So basically, we can count on Charles not to be using magic very much during this campaign, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. It happens to be a -1. So if you roll real well, there you go. So let's look at his moves real quick. So basically, all hunters get, or all wronged get this move. So I know my prey. So they get a +1 ongoing when knowingly investigating, pursuing, or fighting the breed of monster that caused the loss. So in this case, a Wendigo. So anytime there's a Wendigo, literally pretty much anywhere involved in an adventure, suddenly every roll that he does gets a +1 to it. That is doing investigating, pursuing, or fighting. Once it becomes obvious this is a Wendigo, basically it's their bloodlust catching on. They will get this monster. They will bring it down. And he's also chosen Never Again. So in combat, you can choose Protect someone without rolling, as if you'd rolled a 10+. So that's really, really powerful, but you'll notice there's a downside. You may not choose the Suffer Little Harm option in the move. So basically, at any time he's protecting someone, he can choose, as long as he's willing to not reduce the harm being done to him, he can just immediately say, hey, by the way, this is Never Again, and I'm all over this, and I protect the person. Tell me what happened to me, type of thing. But again, the downside is they can't choose not to suffer little harm. And we'll kind of get into what that means as kind of we get into gameplay. And then we have finally tools matter. So and kind of one of his background things is the signature weapons, I believe. But with signature weapon, get +1 to kick some ass. And let's see here. Let's see, and I think that's it. Let's see. Tools. Oh yeah, okay. Stabilize injury, but the patient takes -1 forward. Is that the same thing, or are we in another? We're in another thing
That's
already.
part of tools matter.
Oh, it is. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so all these cool things. Heal 1 harm and stabilize for now, but will return as 2 harm later. So this is all kinds of ways to hurt them, type of things, and heal them in this case. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. What else we got? And of course, we'll might as well go over to signature weapon, since there's no playbook that's quite as signature weapony, I think, than this one. So, it looks like we're choosing the chainsaw. Gotta cause some damage. So if you'll notice, okay, so the weapons provide several things. We have the mono harm, so 3 harm. It's a hand weapon, so it's basically you have to be really close to this person to use it on them. Obviously, a chainsaw is not an item you can kill someone with at 10 feet away. You need to be like right up on them. It's messy. So, for example, if he was to use his chainsaw on somebody, there's no way to like not leave a bloody mess. Oh, but I wanted to leave a pristine scene. It's like, no, how can you? It's a freaking chainsaw. It literally has a tag messy. It's literally a chainsaw, first of all. So that's what that tag is doing. So it's unreliable. How many times have you seen the movies where like, oh, I can't get it started. So again, that gives me tools in my toolbox to kind of use it. It's loud, it's heavy. So if either of these things are kind of a problem, then I get to kind of bring those to bear. He also chose a shotgun. So again, 3 harm close, so not hand. So we've gone to like, I believe, the 10-foot or under range. It's messy and it's loud. And then brass knuckles, 1 harm hand. Again, we're at that right up here range, right in here range, and it's stealthy. It doesn't make any noise, so you can literally bash someone with this, and potentially no one would be the wiser. Let's see. Oh, and we can't go further without bringing up the fact that I've allowed an NPC to be used right off the bat, and I think the entire player group agreed that Fenrir was okay. Fenrir is an English bulldog, Charles's best friend, and friend to the whole team. Really, Dumas is torn on that one, but whatever.
Fenrir is my dog now, and just nobody told Charles about that.
Well, Charles and his shotgun may argue with you, but we'll leave that for gameplay. That's fine.
That's why nobody tells Charles about it.
That's why nobody tells Charles.
This is how Fenrir.
This is our secret. This is our little secret.
Yeah, just Fenrir's coming up for pets just a little less often every few days.
Awesome. So pretty cool. All right.
I
So
don't know. The extra bacon I have may or may not have something to do with that.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah, always carry bacon in your pockets. So is it a good time to come to Hawk, Jason?
All right.
Getting there? So
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I mean,
So let's look at what you
so
have.
yeah,
So right
I
now,
picked some stats.
yeah, stats are
Go ahead.
really cool. So yeah, right now, so charm is 2. So likely, Hawk is the convincer / smooth talker. Not very magical, probably. Again, a -1 isn't saying it's impossible to use something. It just means it's a little less likely statistically for you to succeed in
It's a
the die
bad
roll for
idea.
it. It's a bad idea. It's not the best move in the whole wide world. But yeah, generally well rounded here. And so Hawk is a mundane. So mundane is basically someone who knows about the world of the supernatural but isn't part of it. They're like they're just a normal person who's decided that they're in on this and might as well make the best of it. So let's see. The thing that Jason has chosen so far is the power of heart, and this is again every single playerbook move that a player chooses influences like how I can interact with their character as the keeper and what they can do. And it's really, again, this is really, it doesn't seem like checking a couple boxes is doing a whole lot, but it's a really in-depth character development. You're really making this character your own. So the power of the heart is the one playbook move that Jason has selected so far. So when fighting a monster, if you help someone, don't roll plus cool. You automatically helped as though you'd rolled a 10. So this is another one of those things. So like for example, normally you would roll cool. Some of these playbook moves will make it so you it lets you use a skill or a attribute that you, by nature of your playbook, you probably have a higher score in. So if like there's somewhere out there, I'm sure I haven't looked, but there's probably something, don't roll sharp, roll charm for this. And it kind of shows that, hey, you're kind of using all your strengths to their utmost in a sense. So yeah. So the mundane is very much the kind of it's like Shaggy and Scooby, but with courage type of thing. They're potentially getting in trouble, but they're really honest to goodnessly helping out the group. So that's
They're
kind
the
of
team mascot.
what's that? Or the
The
team
team
mascot. Yeah, not in this case. Unfortunately, that was already taken. So Hawk had to be a person and could not be the animal. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
If we get a guest player, I might just have him play Fenrir. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure which route to go because each of these moves very much suggest a very different play style. I mean, what could go wrong is definitely charging into
Absolutely.
danger, whereas don't worry, I'll check it out. It's very much accidentally stumbling into danger.
Right. It's all a matter of
Trust
what
me,
you
it's
want to
more
do,
about
what you're contributing to
Yeah.
the group, etc. Sorry. Go ahead. But let's look at gear. So that is filled in. So a skateboard is the means of transportation. Hawk is a skater, so thank goodness. And then we got I believe you wanted was it a golf club or what did you want?
And not on the list, but crowbar.
A crowbar. Oh yeah. So yeah.
I mean, it seems like it would be too harm hand, innocuous, messy as well. So
Well, actually, I mean, if I saw
Pretty
a
much
person
in line
walk
with
at me at the
us.
crowbar, I would say it wasn't innocuous. I'd say they're about to kick my ass. But we can go with
Or if
that.
you saw
I'm happy
somebody
with that.
walking with a baseball bat, you'd think that too.
I'm thinking like, is there a game nearby? I'm not like, is there a wheel to change somewhere? But yes, yeah, we'll call it
Oh,
innocuous. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And then of course a
it's
small
innocuous
handgun.
until I had clearly threatening with it.
There's that. And then the small handgun
Otherwise, it's
because yeah, all skaters should have a small handgun, pretty much. You got to protect your turf.
no, don't fight the
It's
power. Shoot the power. Shoot it right
it
in the head.
says so in the skater handbook. Obviously, guys. They all have handguns.
Mhm.
They all have handguns. It's good times. Cool. So all right. So now we kind of know a bit about playbook moves. We know a bit about basic moves. We know about the statistics, the stats. Kind of one thing I want to point out, and something that was kind of pointed out to me by Emily, is that we have the hunter agenda here. So these are kind of the tenets under which you as players should remember when you're kind of playing your character. So act like a hero in this story because you are. Make your own destiny. Find the damn monsters and stop them, and play your hunter like they're a real person. So yeah, act like a hero because you are one. It doesn't mean that hunters can't do bad things or be momentarily evil, but by and large, I mean, they're supposed to be the heroes of this story. They're not the ones you're hoping secretly get killed by the monster because they have it coming, you know? So be the hero, do the hero things, make your own destiny. A lot of these playbooks have destiny type stuff involved. In fact, everyone has luck, a luck stat, which we'll get into eventually, which is basically, get out of jail free, get out of getting harmed free, and do this thing perfectly without a roll thing. And so this is all about breaking out of the destiny that the world has set for you. It's like you're chartering your own path here, and that's really cool. Find the monsters to stop them. So that's like the entire game. So if you're not doing that agenda, then we're playing a different game. And then finally, player hunter like they're a real person. So yeah, get into character. I mean, take it up a notch or two, Charles. Don't play it safe. Go all out. Just give it the accent. Do it all. Whatever you want. It makes you happy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
There we go. I picked a move that will totally synergize with Charles.
Oh no. What was it?
Always the victim. Whenever another hunter uses protect someone to protect you, they get experience.
Oh, neat.
I love that move.
And whenever I get captured, I get experience.
so yeah, you can kind of see how the game mechanics themselves are trying to, I won't say manipulate the players, but they're giving them options. They're giving them things to do. They're pushing them towards drama and doing things both
This
smart
is
and
definitely
stupid.
manipulating. This is manipulating you. This is telling you, capture me, please.
Or do I? Or do I just like
I
taunt
think
you?
it
It's like,
was,
almost got the experience point and got captured, but no.
and then
You're safe.
the other one that synergizes well with that as well. I believe Cassie called it the peak of game design. Don't worry, I'll check it out. And you go off by yourself to check out somewhere or something scary, mark experience.
Excellent. So you'll
Don't worry, guys. I'll be fine.
So for experience, by the way, basically there are boxes to mark. When you mark enough of them, and we'll again go into that later, you get an advance. Eventually, you can get like an advanced advance. But there's the main two ways. Well, the only two ways I think to get experience checks in this game are at the end of the session when assuming you've done a good job on your hunt, your mystery, and various playbook moves can also potentially give you XP check marks. So again,
You
we'll
also get XP every time you get a 6 or less.
yes, I believe so. Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah. So yeah, so basically there's a whole bunch of ways to get XP, and they all involve you doing things. So again, the mechanics. What I love about Powered by Apocalypse is that the mechanics push you to do stuff. You only get better if you do stuff. If you're playing on the side or you're not, kind of participating in the session or the adventure or whatnot, you're just not going to advance. You're going to be the same old character. So it kind of pushes you, hey, do this and you'll get cool stuff. much like the real world, like jobs. You know, we give you money if you do cool stuff for us. But this is more exciting and fun, I think.
Mm.
All right. So let's see here. Why don't we go over? I'm just kind of curious what the other players have chosen for their moves. So how about let's see here. So I think okay. So Charles has chosen all the moves, and all the weapons and it's very dangerous. And don't mess with them if you can avoid it. Hawk has now gotten all that down, so that's awesome. How about Darcy? What player book moves did you choose?
I picked the artifact for skeleton key that opens any magically sealed lock. And I also picked driver that we already talked about. And
Yep.
I did a little Googling while you were talking, and I decided on a 1988 Chevy Silverado
Ooh, nice.
with old and loud. I also think my background counts as a move, kind of.
Yeah,
Um,
let's hear about it.
but I picked burglar, so when you break into a secure location, I can roll sharp to see what happens, and I get to, if I succeed, I get to pick either I get in undetected, get out undetected, don't leave a mess, or find what I was after,
Very cool.
which
So
is pretty cool.
one more thing I do want to point out is what I generally do with Powered by the Apocalypse stuff is point out that you as the player are in charge of your character sheet. I'm going to do my darndest to kind of be cognizant of what moves you have going on and what the triggers are for them. But in the end, if a move doesn't trigger because you let it kind of that time pass and didn't notice it yourself, that's kind of on you. But I'll do my very darndest to be cognizant of those. And when you do trigger them, but don't be shy about bringing them up. I'm happy to, just let me know. I'm happy to make it right. So we'll kind of keep that in mind. Cool. Do you have any other moves we should know about, or any background stuff that you've chosen?
No more moves. I've kind of marked some heat stuff, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that yet.
Good question. Let's see what kind of backgrounds we have for everyone. Let's see here. Not every playbook that we're playing today has background stuff. So why don't you let's just go for that. And we'll kind of again, I want to get a basic idea what's going on. We can kind of go from there.
Okay. So for heat, I had to pick at least two of them, which I find funny that it lets you pick at least because I could potentially do all five if I wanted to.
Go for
But
it.
I thought that would be a bit
Damn
much.
it.
Um, so I picked a police detective who's made it a personal goal to put you away, and you pissed off a well-connected criminal, and they'll do whatever they can to destroy you. Now, sort of the stories that I'm kind of going with this are in order to get the skeleton key that she has, she broke into somebody's house and it just happened to be the wrong person. Um, I figured it was I'm thinking he's like a drug lord, kind of. Like he's a well-connected criminal, and I named him Orlando just for the moment.
Sounds good.
And then I also have Officer Johnson, who I'm going to say there was a job that went really bad for Darcy, and she was trying to rob a jewelry store, which is possibly not what she would usually go for. It's a little higher security, but she got caught by a police detective. And then, due to other circumstances, which we can discuss in Underworld or when we go through the history with all the characters, she ended up getting away. But Officer Johnson has made it his goal to find her and make her pay for her crimes.
Excellent. Let's see here. Let's actually go back to Dumas. Dumas. So Dumas has a mission, and I do want to point out that this you may have come from games where people were passing notes to other people and to the GM and etc. This is not that game. Everything's kind of out in the open. We're all adults by definition here, and keep out of information out of character. And what I recommend is if you have to use out of character information, use it to try to let's make some drama with it, that kind of thing, but don't get out of control. So
Yes.
yeah, let's make it fun. So for what's Dumas' mission as a
Uh,
fallen angel, if
you
you
have
will?
been exiled. You must work for the cause of good without drawing the attention of your brothers and sisters. They are sure to execute you for your crimes.
Yes. So you can see how this makes my job much more fun. Again, everything's a hook. Everything's a little extra jab for me to get in there. So this is, you can imagine how when things go wrong, suddenly maybe some of her hunters are aware of things. So cool.
Yes.
And then let's look at, I think Charles has another background one. Let's see here. So Charles, we already kind of got into like what you lost. You lost your family. Your wife, your son, and your daughter were killed by a Wendigo. And in this case, so you have to kind of choose why they were lost. And it's the whole list is all about what you did wrong, why it's kind of your fault partially. And he's chosen selfish and slow. He was selfish, and kind of investigating stuff and slow to get back. So it was, and there's always going to be this part of Charles that eats at him. It's like, what if I wasn't selfish? What if I was faster? Would this have happened? He will never know. So every time he goes hunting for an actual monster, this is in the back of his mind. I won't be selfish. I won't be slow, or at least has the potential to be there.
So the kids wanting to go hunting.
Yep. And of course, the fearless Fenrir, the English bulldog, Charles's best friend and all-around confidant, who, unbeknownst to him, is being seduced by Hawk with Bacon, and that's something to be handled in game. We'll see how that pans out. But I have a feeling that Fenrir is the group favorite amongst everyone. And I don't think that the mundane actually has any kind of past or any kind of special
Background like that.
background stuff.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Just my mundane moves. So
Yep.
my background is I was mundane.
So okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is let's for each of you, let's go around and kind of one of the other things I really try hard to do is I want to give everyone equal spotlight time. That's my goal. So my goal is by the end of every single session, everyone feels like they got, in this case, 25% of the spotlight time. By spotlight time, I mean they were the focus of a scene or a thing or a conversation or something like that. I want every single player that to feel that their character contributed to the game each session, and that they got something out of it themselves. I've been I've been gaming. I'm like in my late 40s, and I've been gaming since I was like 11. And so I've been in a lot of games, and I've been a player. I've been a game master. I've been in so many sad games where I sat on my hands for most of the session and did not much, and felt like I didn't contribute. I didn't matter. And I don't want anyone feeling that in my session. So I'm doing my darndest. It doesn't always work out, but I'm trying to give everybody, equal time and shine. So, and I kind of want to put forward that as players, also keep it in mind when you're doing stuff, find ways that you can make everyone else awesome. If you can find a way to bring someone in and get them some spotlight, if you can find a way for, even if it's a mess up on your part, that someone else can step in and shine, that kind of thing. So kind of keep that in mind as you're playing, and I think everybody will have a good experience. So again, that's my goal. I don't always make it, I don't think, but it is my goal, and I do try. So so that being said, let's go ahead and get into like I've heard from Charles like how basically we all know how Charles got into the game of hunting, but I don't think I've really heard. I think Dumas is kind of self-explanatory. She has to be on the side of good and do good things. Um, I don't quite know how uh, Darcy and Hawk got into the monster hunting game, or how they found out about the supernatural to begin with. So,
Would
uh,
you like to start doing the histories?
we could do that. Let's see. So the histories are kind of like the relationships you have between each other. But I just want to first, before we get into that, I want to kind of cover how everyone became a hunter in the first place, unless it's like linked to someone else intrinsically.
Yeah, I figured that would be mine. That one of my history prompts is a perfect reason I ended up entangled with somebody and kind of drawn into this.
Okay. How about for Darcy? Do you do the same thing, or do you want to kind of bring it up what happened?
So I have a section on my playbook. Oh, I wasn't looking at my playbook. My bad. Um, I have a section on my playbook called Underworld, which tells me to pick the circumstances that led you to discovering the real underworld and then pick the creature involved. I chose things went south on a job, including but not limited to running into a horde of goblins, a hunger of ghouls, a dream eater, or a salamander. Um,
Or something.
yeah, something like that. So I kind of mentioned the jewelry store job that went wrong with Officer Johnson. I'm thinking that the reason he didn't, arrest her then and get her was because a turns out there was a salamander there and it ended up burning down the whole place. And so both of them got out unscathed, but it allowed Darcy to run away. And then she kind of had that, like, oh my God, what was that? Like, monster thing,
That wasn't a cat.
right? um, and also when we go into the histories, there are some things that can influence that sort of story, but that's what I'm going with right now.
Cool. Cool. And Dumas, do you want to add something to your kind of how I got involved in monster hunting story, or is kind of like your mission that is that pretty much self-explanatory?
Uh, let's see. I was kind of thinking that maybe uh, her mortal existence knew Darcy at some point because she was probably into like some shady stuff.
Okay, okay. So the human. Oh, that's cool. So the human that you're inhabiting. Well, that's cool. Okay, so let's do that for background potential then. So yeah, let's do a background. So another kind of cool thing about again most Powered by the Apocalypse games is that there are backgrounds. So these are in some games the backgrounds kind of do have several focuses. They kind of show how the characters are interlinked to each other, and they also give another benefit. Like some games rely on like how close you are to the other characters. Like Apocalypse World, for example, it's very much like a is it strings or something, or is that Monster Hearts? But it's basically connections this helps initially define. For purposes of this, this is more flavor and actual honest to goodness background as to how um, what things you've done with the other hunters. So the way that works is each playbook has its own list of background prompts or history prompts rather, excuse me. And basically the way it works is you will be going around the table and each person gets to work with each other character and have you use one of their prompts on them. So, for example, just as an example from Dumas' book, if she was to choose, if you're protecting another hunter as your mission, which that's not the mission, tell them this. You have a crucial role in what is to come. I'm here to guide and defend you. So, at that point, Dumas would say, okay, so that's Hawk, and then we kind of go from there. What I do like is if I will say that the character who's choosing the background prompt chooses the person, but I would like it if you could just come to a mutual agreement that that's cool. some of these things are, you know, outside the character or whatever. So just kind of like come to a mutual agreement, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's do a round.
Yes.
Let's how about we like each do one. Yeah, each do one, and then we'll kind of keep going around in a circle till we have basically each hunter has two connections. One to another character, one from another character for each of the other characters. I know that's confusing. That confused me to say it out loud. But here we are.
You said 2 connections, and I was like, shouldn't it be 3? But you're right.
Yeah, well, I mean per character, there's one going, one coming, basically. So let's go. Well, who wants to start us off? Who has a background that they have in mind for another character already?
I got one.
Right. I will go first.
All right, what's Hawk got? So close,
Because
Charles. So
I
close. You're slow.
talked about this earlier, and I've kind of been out. So you saved their life from a monster due to an unlikely chain of events. Tell them what. So it's not exactly that I actually saved Charles' life from a monster, so much as I saved Fenrir's life.
Ooh, wow.
Because Fenrir was running for dear life down this alley with some kind of monster chasing him, looking to kill him and eat him. And Charles was trying to follow up behind, but had trouble keeping up with it. And I was working at, at like Taco Monarch or something. And I had just stepped out the bag to empty the
Taco
grease trap into the bin. And I see this vaguely humanoid thing that I don't recognize as a monster, and this poor dog running for its life. And I could tell, like, I didn't know exactly what it was, but it looked like whoever it was out hurt that dog. And so I go and step out, and I'm like, hey, buddy, leave that dog alone. And it just keeps shambling. So I'm like, well, fuck you then. And I splash the grease all over the creature,
Ooh.
which causes it to start screaming out, flailing, and slips and falls. Fenrir is still running, and Charles just basically comes up and it's like, perfect, and then shoots it in the face at point blank range with the shotgun.
No, Charles is a pacifist. I don't think that's really in character.
Okay, so we can chainsaw it at point blank
Okay,
range.
that's better. That's better.
At which point Fenrir slows down, exhausted, out of energy, and almost collapses at the end of the alley. And Charles goes and looks up at me and, how did you know oil was its weakness?
And the rest is history.
And I'm just kind of like, wait, what? I'm kind of in shock. This person just shotgunned somebody in the face right in front of me and talked to me. And then it started getting back up. So he shotgunned it in the head again. And I'm just like, okay, that's not normal. What the fuck is going on here?
Excellent. See, and that's how you do a background. All right, good job. All right,
All right,
is
Hawk. I have a good one for you,
Yes.
Hawk.
yes, Charles is chomping at the bit. Please go.
So, in the process of our beginning of our travels, they saw Charles absolutely lose it and go berserk. Tell them what the situation was and ask them how much collateral damage you caused. Hulk, do you remember that time when I thought Fenrir went over the roof because that bat thing? How much damage did I cause that day with my chainsaw? I really can't remember.
Come on, Charles. You know we don't talk about that day.
You don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that day. But it wasn't.
Was it 2 or 3 blocks that we blew up?
2 or 3 blocks were just
let's sure. Okay, sure, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
cool. So yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Another excellent use of background.
We're never going back to Ferndale.
Yeah.
I believe they chase us out every time we even put our feet in that city.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
somehow they know we're coming.
They definitely took away the key to that city,
Shit.
basically.
Out.
Awesome.
You're
All right,
just
so
my ride.
good one. All right, how about Dumas? What do you have? What's your first background with somebody?
Let's see.
Am I pronouncing Dumas right?
Sure.
Oh, easy going as always. Continue.
Let's see.
No
One
pressure.
I'll start out with this one. Their prayer, perhaps an informal or even unconscious prayer summoned you, Darcy. So I was thinking about, yeah, she did something and prayed, and I came. Cause I do have this power called angel wings, where I can basically appear to anywhere I've been before, or anybody I know well. So if they call me, I can immediately come to them.
Wow. So what was the thing that was so horrible that you had to pray to a angel for?
I actually love that you picked that one. So um okay. So Darcy, you know, right after this jewelry store robbery gone wrong, um she
One thing
she
leads to
kind of
another.
she kind of scrapes together her funds, and she doesn't really know where she's going. She just knows that she can't stay here, you know. And possibly the only honest purchase she's ever made is this 2016 Winnebago Vista. She doesn't quite know what she's doing with her life yet, but she gets on the road and she's driving for a while, and I'm sort of imagining like maybe she stopped at a rest stop or something, and she's got like her head in her hands and she's like, I can't do this on my own. Like I can't be by myself. And then flash of light, all of a sudden Dumas is there. Maybe it's not like a formal prayer, right? She's kind of just thinking like, "Oh my god."
I need
She's very
someone.
overwhelmed. But
Well,
then it
yeah, I'd imagine it. She like Dumas just like lounging in like a chair next to her, like drinking like a beer, and be like, "So things are rough."
That's a freaking entry line, dude. Oh my god.
I
Holy
imagine
crap.
Darcy was kind of just like, "Where the hell did you come from?"
Yeah. First she
I didn't
first
hear
she
the
says it, then
door
she
open.
does it.
That actually kind of matches sort of. I was actually thinking even before you said that, um, for Dema, I have this hunter is your moral compass. When you talk over things with them, their advice keeps you on the straight and narrow.
And that's Dumas.
Yeah.
You're sure about that? Okay. All right.
I realize a little bit ironic considering she's a fallen
Yeah.
angel.
Right. Is that compass true north or is it somewhere that way? But that's cool.
Well, she had a
I
good
try-
reason to fall. I mean, it's like,
She
Is that your
she was in the game in the first place.
Or, I mean, it could also be this hunter was there when you decided to give up the life and hunt monsters instead.
uh,
Which one do you think would be better for Duma?
hmm. Well, I mean, contrary to her fallen nature, she actually does have a quite strong moral compass.
Sounds good. Perfect. So, and I can imagine that conversation continuing in the RV, and then, she's like, "Yeah, you can't do this alone, but it's time to pick up the boots and put them back down again, and on people's faces, on monsters' faces, if you need to, type of thing." So very cool. So cool. And again, hopefully anyone watching, the stream or the video, as the case may be, because he's kind of like, again, this is how things are developing. It's so easy. It's picking a person and a sentence, basically. It's really cool. So that's round 1 complete. I think we have 2 more total before everyone is done. So let's start off with Charles this time. Charles, what's your next one?
The next one. Here we go.
Here we go.
Darcy, do you remember when I saved your life when you were just starting out as a pathetic newbie hunter? What did I save you from? What was it again?
Hmm. Um, a vampire. Yeah, it was that night. I had stopped at a truck stop, and it was like 3 in the morning. You just happened to be there. I had to like beg the sleepy cashier to like give me the key to his bathroom. And I wasn't feeling too great about this place anyways. And just next thing I knew, I'd been grabbed and he was going for my neck. And then it was like, you know, out of nowhere, there you were. It wasn't on me anymore.
It was on everything
I
else.
I remember now. After I pulled him off you, I commenced beating this vile vampire's head in, and I looked at you after I was done and went, "I'm finished." Hello, I'm Charles.
I love that vision. That's very what does that match for me? This hunter saved your life when a monster had the drop on you, and now you owe them one. That works perfect.
You're taking all the fun out of this background thing, RC.
I'm
That's cool.
sorry.
I'm kidding. No, that's really cool. And that's it's neat that you can match it like that. It meshes nicely. It makes a whole lot of sense. This is like one of your first experiences as a hunter, and there he was. Of course, it's a memorable one that you would key in on when a background comes up, that kind of thing. Cool. How about Hawk? What's your next one? And for whom?
I've been looking these over, and I'm really
Yeah, no pressure. You just actually have to pick one right now. No pressure. Like right now. 5, 4, 3. I don't have the music. 2. I know you got this. Point
Dumas
75.
is
Her.
vicious AF. Always keeping to herself, that holier than thou attitude. Always wanting to ride that bike instead of nice, comfy existence in the Winnebago like the rest of us. And there's just something about her I can't really place. And just something seems off. And so, yeah, they seem to be doing. She seems to be a fine person, I guess, but I just can't shake the feeling that there's something. She's keeping something from me, I'm sure.
Ooh. Good and awesome.
Keeping something.
What that is, we don't yet know. Or do we? All right. So let's see. Darcy's already done another one, so let's do go back to Dumas. What's your next background?
Well, one I was going to ask is if you thought this was okay. When we talked about Dumas being like a pretty butch, muscular woman, you just kept like saying that Hawk would approve of this.
Oh,
So I said they fill you with feelings of sexual infatuation. You're confused by the associated mortal emotions.
I am in full agreement and acceptance of this particular aspect. Wow, this is going to be a messy and complex relationship.
Yeah, I was about to say this is very complicated.
You're allowed to say that you're not good with it. That's part of the process.
Oh,
If you'd rather they chose a different one.
that might be why Dumas seems so suspicious to me. Because this is what they're hiding from me.
All right, cool. Well,
Well, you pick that, and I am down for that.
cool.
All
Awesome.
right.
Oh damn! This is the first time I played an Angel's Crush, so this is new.
It's not my first time. That's right. But anyway,
Not my first time.
so anyway, let's see. So who does that leave? I think everyone has one more to go. One person they haven't done a background with, correct?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's me and Hawk, and then Charles and Dumas.
All right. Let's see here. Charles, what's the one we have for Dumas?
Dumas, you know, your hard-earned years have made you the only person I can come to for advice. The only person I trust. So I come to Dumas for advice all the time.
Excellent. Dumas is an angel. That counts for something.
Yes. The one I was probably going to pick with him. They are good at heart. They are at heart a good and righteous person. You must help them stay that way.
Oh wow. That's gonna be a freaking challenge.
That goes hand in hand with needing the advice. Charles must not lose himself.
Cool.
Yeah.
That does work out well. Charles keeps going to you for advice, and your advice is don't become a monster.
Don't become the thing you're hunting.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So how about Darcy? Darcy and Hawk, yeah?
Darcy and Hawk.
I have one last towards Darcy. So Darcy, how long have we been good friends?
Have we, if you, Jason, if you want, we can be like from the same town. You can be like my high school best friend.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
My
And I got
buddy.
into all that. I was a skater punk and all that anarchy and that, and you were hot wiring cars, and
Peanut butter meat jelly. Boom.
Maybe we went to
were
like
totally
maybe we would
covering
like
for each
go
other
to
all the time.
yeah, we were covering for each other all the time. Maybe we went to like protests and stuff together. Like just, you know, we were out here
Against the
on the
man.
streets
Capital M.
fighting against the man.
Absolutely.
Why should it be illegal for me to steal cars, right?
The concept of property is a social construct.
From each
I do not
according
approve of you hanging out with her. I do not approve of this.
according to their wants, to each
From
according to their needs.
According to what they can give,
Oh my.
Well,
to each according to what they can lay their hands on and get away with.
So that does line up nicely with this hunter knows about your criminal past. Tell them what crimes they saw you commit. I imagine you came along with me on many of my crimes.
They were just like a secondary
What
criminal
crimes
on
did
that
they
one.
see?
Maybe
And it's
like
not so much which crimes did I see you commit, it's what crimes did I help cover up for you
yeah,
and provide
exactly.
alibis.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool.
maybe if there were cops around, you would like a distraction for me.
Funny.
Oh, hell yes.
All
While
right.
I like did my thing.
Cool.
Of that.
Oh, hell yes.
That's awesome. All right, so we got some awesome backgrounds already going. I'm impressed. And we have, and again, what's cool about this is these we went from nothing to work with each other to now there are literal plot lines and subplots here at work that we can draw on. So really cool stuff. So also we're at our halfway mark. This is where we take our 10-minute break. So why don't you guys do what it is that you all do? Hydrate, drink, pee, whatever other stuff that we won't list here. But do that.
Refill my hydration.
That works too. Good. Okay, maybe cut back on the hydration there a little bit. But so yes, 10 minutes. Be back. Be here. Be square. All that kind of good stuff. We'll see you shortly. All right. And we're back from the break. So so now we've gone through basically the entirety of character generation. So good job. And again, this is really fast. Again, I did it at a con and it took all of, 15 minutes if you really want to go quick. And then and not do any actual relationships, since it really doesn't matter for a one shot type of limited time engagement. But yeah, and again, what I love about the relationship part, the finding commonalities between the characters, that now we have all these other plot hooks, this plot drama, plot courtships potentially, where we don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So I just want to know, I did get something special to bring the other role play, the other character here. So tell me what you guys think here. This is me. Rough.
No. No.
No, you don't like Fenrir? No?
I can't.
Not working for you?
I can't.
No
I
Fenrir?
can't do deep-voiced dogs. I can only do yappy lap dogs.
Well, that's good.
We have officially devolved into chaos now.
It is a little chaotic, yes. So, all right. So we formed our band of merry hunters.
So I'm thinking Charles is responsible for bringing both me and Darcy into this hunter world, and part of me likes to imagine that this is separate, and then like he brought us both together, and like, Darcy?
Yeah, totally.
Right? Maybe there's a moment of like, this guy too?
You doing here? Girlfriend, this is bad news. Go home.
I even think that truck is
Girlfriend.
familiar to Charles. It's like, Darcy, where did you get this truck from? I feel like I lost a truck like this.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Charles is like,
Circle
did you
complete.
steal this from me? And Darcy's like, no, of course not. I don't steal cars. What?
Why is that
How
Fenris's
dare
toy in
you?
the back?
How dare you, Charles, accuse me of doing something so illegal?
No, you gotta do
I
more
would
drama.
never steal
More
cars.
drama than that.
That's why I think it's a truck. Totally not a car.
Yeah, I steal cars, not trucks.
Now,
Yeah,
after all
looks
this,
like my bag. Oh well.
So,
I'm wondering whether I can actually change my moves.
oh,
Could I
you're
be somewhat more competent, as I ended up choosing, don't worry, I'll check it out, and always the victim is sort of I'm always the one who always ends up in trouble, but now Darcy and the fact that Charles mostly gets in trouble, I don't know, maybe other moves instead.
okay.
I
I
don't
told you
get
guys,
in that much trouble. Let's be fair here. I just had one job go wrong.
just one. She's a professional, darn it.
It only takes one.
Yeah. The way I set up my character, I like to think that she comes and goes a lot. She's not always there, but if you call for her, you need her to be there, she'll be there.
Interesting.
Wait, are you implying that Dumas is now Darcy's like guardian angel?
Oh my god. And she has to. What does she have to do to get her wings? This is your
Yeah.
life, Darcy.
And since Charles doesn't
Ring a
really get
bell?
magic, he's just like, Dumas, how did you get here so quickly? I swear, you're like Batman. Just
like
coming and going.
It's just like, okay, so it's supposed to be this cave. I wonder where Dumas is. You are.
Dumas,
It's like,
I need to ask you a question. Oh wait, where'd you go?
I hate it when she does that. So
Okay, this is different. This is definitely a clear um, hierarchy going on that Hawk feels responsible for protecting Darcy in some way, which is why which goes very well with my moves of I'll check it out and always the victim. I'm like, no, you stay here with the RV. I'll check it out.
ah!
I'm always the one trying to look out for Darcy. Charles is always trying to look out for everybody. Fenrir's always looking out for himself.
Because he's a dog, right?
And Duma is probably face palming at all of us. What did they
really
do?
did you really need the chainsaw that in half? Couldn't you have just subdued it? No, I needed it to be split in half. It needed to die.
I mean, I did set up a custom weapon a little bit for my character.
Oh, what is
Um,
what's your weapon, your divine weapon?
Well, I basically just copied Thunderhammer into like leather gloves.
So they're basically sap gloves of doom.
So they're basically hit something and it like a shock of thunder and it throws them away.
Oh my god. All right.
I love the power glove. It's so
Yes.
bad.
I appreciate that Dumas and Charles are both like really badass, like fighter types, and Darcy and Hawk are kind of just here. Like,
We'll sort
Oh,
things out while you guys are
I-
breaking things.
I've got the
I
+2 charm. You've got the +2 cool and sharp. So pretty much we're the ones who are actually good at things, and they're the ones who are very good at hitting things.
Or ramming them into
Whatever you
walls.
want to die, I will make sure it dies.
I have a -1 charm though, which is probably why I have one friend, and my other two friends are a crazy man and an angel.
Yeah, don't ever say that out loud in public, or yeah, they will. That's bad.
And don't forget, he suspects that you stole
Both
his
you,
truck.
Right.
both you and Dumas have -1 charm, which is fabulous.
Which means we're both awkward.
Ish.
Well, yeah, as I said, she's definitely rocking that bad girl hot.
The bad girl hot. Yeah, trademark.
Whereas all my options were all +2 charm. So
People like
Good
you.
job. Darn it. All right. So as anyone can see, the group is already gelling. We're already kind of seeing how things could potentially or more importantly, go wrong. So that's really important to a group, I think. It's not just where things are going to go right, but how it's just going to go to hell. And that, I have a feeling, is going to be often, which is good for the game. So yeah. So like okay. So we have the group. They're formed. Kind of one thing I wanted to go into next was patron or no patron. So this is something that's kind of brought up in the what are the Monster of the Week supplemental book is, which I forget offhand, but it brings up an interesting question. So there's two ways to go about this. Like basically, how do you get your basically how do you get your leads, and what kind of assets you have going into it. So for example, if we use like, I don't know, like this one show where these two brothers go around and kill things, and they're kind of their own people, and every time they get to they have to find their own mysteries, and then when they get there, they kind of have to figure out how they're going to get the information. They got to create credentials and masquerade as people. If they didn't do that, they couldn't get their information. So it's literally all on them. They do it all. The other way to go is a patron. Patron is someone who can give you leads on mysteries, and two, can provide you with assets to make kind of getting what you need a little more smooth. For example, I like one of the examples they use in the book. I think it was like a supernatural blogger who has a great following. So like for one, you're like when you come up, they basically give you the leads you need, and then two, they when you get there, you're like, yeah, here's my press pass. I'm representing the super blog or whatever, and now you have a reason to talk to the police, and they'll actually maybe talk to you back and stuff like that. Or is it an agency of some sort? Even though there's no character with a playbook that has such a group, how are we going to do that? So that's kind of what I want you guys to hash out at this point. Is like, do you want to do it all, or do you want like someone kind of feeding you stuff, and then that's how you get your
Mm. Yeah, I just had the idea of maybe there's some kind of like organization that runs out of truck stops that like just it's like a rumor mill type thing where they just like organize to protect people on the road and we're going along the road.
Oh, interesting. I was about to say that that's pretty much Supernatural, which is a franchise we're not supposed to mention, otherwise trademarked, infringement, etc. But that's similar to that. But I mean, if it's like you're protecting people down this the various highways and byways, they're not necessarily hunters, but they're there to kind of give you pointers and point you in the right direction to protect people. Right? Anybody else have thoughts? Or want to add to that, or does that sound great right off, or what do you think?
I
Everybody can
almost
contribute.
wonder if there's some sort of religious order that's involved because of Duma.
Oh, interesting.
Dumas has a fan club.
She has a fan club that calls us from a lone payphone.
We can't trace it.
We have no idea where it comes from, and Charles is always going to answer it going, "Charles, shut up, Charles."
Something like the order from the Initiate playbook.
The Order of Ma.
So
The
like
great Dumas, you are needed.
I could have a cult. Cults are fun.
Cults are fun. Oh my god. Oh, cults are fun. I need to put that on a plaque, basically.
Cults are fun.
It's like, yeah, it's
Remember, kids, cults are good for you.
you make more money as the leader, but you really have more fun as a follower. So it's all about which way you want to go.
Only one question. Can I keep my chainsaw?
Odds are fair to Midland. Okay. Anybody else? Any ideas? What's everybody thinking? Which one is working for you? Do you have your own ideas? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because this is really integral to this. This is in part how this whole campaign is going to develop. What this is, if there is a patron or if there's not, and what the patron is if there is one. So don't be shy about putting on some ideas.
I kind of like the idea of us sort of doing it on our own, kind of just like stumbling upon mysteries. But I also, if we were gonna go with like a patron type thing, I kind of like what Cassie was saying, where it's sort of like kind of just more word of mouth, more of like a loose organization, kind of like a sort of rumor mill type thing.
So more like a half patron, in the sense that they can give you pointers as to where to go, but no real assets to use once you get there. So you're kind of on your own, and you have to kind of drum that up. That sound right?
Right.
It's kind of the neighbor cult watch.
Something like that. That's fun. All right. Any other thoughts? Any other ideas? What do we like and best here? Don't all jump in at once. You're fine.
The religious order, I don't know that she would have much of a religious order herself, given that she's basically hunted by the angels.
Well, there are offshoots of every group, truly.
But let's see.
So this is the first group decision. I'm not going to influence it or anything. I don't have a preference. I don't have any ideas myself. This is between the four of you. So let you guys hash it out as you will. Make your case for each of them, and let's come to a decision.
I was thinking, because this all makes me think of kind of combining everything, but with a loosely kind of like the SCP Foundation. But they're not our patrons. Like, hey, this organization exists that studies monsters, and we look them up online, but we do everything ourselves. We just find like bits and pieces of their traces that they're in a town investigating something, and we use what they're doing for ourselves. So
Or
they're not really
freelance monster hunters.
exactly like there is this group of people who hunt these monsters that are legitimate. They're basically the A team, and then you have us, and we're like, we're taking the credit. It's all us, baby.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting if there was like this shadowy organization that we were trying to unravel the mystery of.
What do they know about the monsters and stuff and everything? I'm just thinking along those lines. Like, it seems like it's a patron, but it's not because they're just ahead of us a few steps.
We're stealing their leads and then also their thunder. I feel like
Exactly.
Darcy in particular would be cool with that.
Now the thing we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
avoid though is like, the problem? The only being the devil's advocate, the only problem I can see with that is that, like, if they're really the A team and they have the leads, why are you guys even? By the time you get there, why is the monster not dead? Type of situation. Or they
Maybe they
or maybe they're
think
incompetent.
they're the A team, and they're just a bunch of pompous fools.
Well, but,
Exactly.
what I was saying is, in order to make that work, is maybe they're like this some shadow organization that we're trying to track down and figure out, and we kind of stumble on to like their
Their information
Mission.
network or something, or
their endeavors, and we're kind of like using, and we like break into like their safe houses and like steal their information and then use that to figure out what's going on.
And that would be
I
why we're
appreciate-
heading down the road. It's like, all right, now we got to head here to keep following this lead now.
I appreciate that even though Darcy has given up the life, she hasn't really given up the life. Yeah, let's steal information from people. Cool.
Darcy, I'm sorry, but could you break into this house for me, please? Thank you.
Sure, dude. Let's go.
Ultimately, there could be some kind of organization, government organization that deals with these things, but they're only sort of an administrative record-keeping recording capacity, and they basically hire mercenary hunter teams to actually deal with all this shit because they are horribly understaffed and can't do it themselves, and also deniability and such.
Ooh, that I like. I really like that idea. Actually, that would be perfect.
And so, like, there's government agency that's responsible for all this, but they use teams of independent deniable assets to actually like investigate, trap, and or kill various problems. And they're like, "Oh, hey, Darcy, long time no see. It looks like you're heading into Springfield. You know, there's a few $1,000s in it if you capture the Jersey Devil there."
Darcy is definitely motivated by money. Let's be real. It's expensive to keep up an RV.
Oh my god.
It really is. They use so much gas.
All the other crap that you
Charles
have
wouldn't
to
mind
do.
this. He would not mind. He would be okay with this. It's like, just point me in the direction of wherever I get to punch or stab or saw.
Very cool. Cassie, you're quiet. What are your thoughts?
At which point, I'll just hand a hunk of wood to Charles. Like, saw this.
So
That's what he'll do in the back of the RVs. Saw it wood.
I just keep imagining her have like a fight club / biker game cult.
Oh my god. That could be a B plot at some point, I'm sure.
But yeah, I like us being like arms for hire kind of.
That works.
Hawk is obviously the brain. Hawk will handle all of our transactions.
Nice.
And Duma is definitely on the way, like bring the war back to heaven, because she's not on board with like the celestial order.
All right then. Sounds good. Cool. All right. So are you guys? Am I picking up that you guys are coming together on this monster killing mercenaries thing?
Yes.
Well, it's also the right thing to do, but it's even more the right thing to do if we get paid to do the right thing.
There is that. Yeah.
Exactly. There needs to be a monetary incentive for me to be a good person morally.
Cool.
Monster hunting is expensive. We just want reasonable upkeep.
Exactly.
Excellent. Yeah, so and there is no real money in this game, but that doesn't mean that here and there I can't provide you a +1 to things if you have, spare money for left over from a job or acquiring items, want to get a gold-plated chainsaw type of thing, that type of goodness. So, but that sounds cool.
No, titanium skateboard deck.
Titanium.
Oh,
It's now your weapon.
There's actually one thing I forgot to add about Charles's gear. He has what he calls the brew. It's a flask of mixed mystery liquor. No one knows how he's refilling it, what he's making it out of, but it will knock you out.
Noted. Yeah.
He's got like moonshine.
Oh my god. So my only question is why is Hawk not using why is the skateboard not his weapon, or her weapon rather? It seems like innocuous and it'll black upside your head, but ow.
Oh, I mean, it can definitely be a weapon as well, but I guess it depends on whether or not these jobs give me a sufficient skateboard replacement budget.
Odds are decent. Cool. And it isn't.
Oh yeah, no.
Was that?
I was totally intending on hitting somebody with it at some point.
As we do. So yeah, I mean, this isn't stepping on the toes of like I hunt or anything, because this is a totally different feel. And you guys aren't just like for hire. You guys are honest to goodness professional mercenaries, and this is your thing. This is why you exist at this point. So very different. So that's very cool. I like it. So okay, we're good with the patron that gives you leads, but now are they giving you any kind of assets? Are you do you go in there with Hunter Inc. IDs or anything like that, or is it just pretty much they give you the leads, they give you the money, and the rest is all on you to do?
Okay, I like to imagine that Darcy and Darcy and Hawk have to handle this, because Charles has been banned from taking anything from the Hunter organization because he took too many explosives, and that's how he blew up 2 blocks.
Yeah, just don't mention that we're working with Charles anymore.
Yeah, so he's pretty much been banned from asking for supplies.
As far as the organization knows, we're 3 ladies.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's all. Okay. So whenever Charles answers a call from him, it's always like this: "Hello there, sweetie. I'm the new recruit. I'm Charlotte.
Charlene."
Yeah, I'm not sure how mercenary Duma is. She's probably just there to help out.
Yeah, she's just there to help out. The money is besides the point. Okay, all right. So that sounds pretty cool. So yeah, so you get leads from them. They give you money, but pretty much they send you. You're on your own. They're paying you to get the job done. Why do they need to give you a booster? So that's also cool. And again, one of the reasons, as I said, this kind of helped build this campaign is okay. Now we know how you get them, how you get sent from one place to another. And now we also know that you're going to kind of have to work it to get your information. It's not just walking up and saying you're an FBI agent, and getting all your info. It's going to be a matter of, maybe you have to sweet talk somebody to start blabbering about the thing to you to get your information, or rob the right place, etc., etc. So, and as you can see, that feeds straight back into your characters, which feeds straight back into the drama of the campaign, etc., etc. So that's really cool. All right, so
Because I don't think characters like Darcy, Charles, I don't think characters like us would necessarily give all of our would depend on a government organization for all of our tools, you know?
kind of counter to the mission there, as it were.
Right.
Well, yeah, this campaign is already reminding me of another Monster Hunter game I get where my character held two witches at gunpoint while another character's in the bathroom stole their painkiller from their medicine cabinet.
These are not necessarily good people. Let's face it. They got some issues. That's all right. Feeding back into the drama. Cool.
It's a classic case of we have bad intentions but good results.
True story. Cool. So let's see here. I'm just looking to see if we haven't really covered anything. I think we got it all. We've talked about your characters. We all know about your characters. We know the interrelationships between your characters. We know that you have a patron that gives you, your leads, but not assets. And that's why you're going to be sent down the road, because you go where the group tells you to, you go where the money is. So very cool. Let's see here. Is there anything anyone else want to kind of cover with the thing? Otherwise, we have a lot of time, and I kind of fill it with, I kind of have some questions about you guys and that kind of stuff. But anything else we want to talk about the game in particular? Like any mechanics or anything you're not cool with or not getting, or that I can help out with, or better yet, Emily can help out with, because she's the expert.
Better yet.
She's literally typing me notes for everything I say, and like I just read them kind of sort of like a teleprompter. She's like my ghostwriter.
I'm the puppet master. I'm your real DM.
Psych! Ooh, I did not see that coming. Plot twist. Oh my god! And all of a sudden, one episode, suddenly the cameras switch areas. It's like, oh my god! Oh my god! I did not see that coming.
Yes, Scott's just playing the dog.
I'm just the dog. So maybe bring out the snap filter again. Let me do that. I'll do it. I totally will. All right.
No offense, Scott, but that dog filter was kind of terrifying.
I know, it was kind of it is a horror game. It was kind of meant to be a little scarring. Not permanently, but a bit. So let's see here. So one of the things I did kind of want to go over, since I'm thinking about it, is the fact that this game does delve into magic. There's magic in this world. And one of the basic moves is use magic. Now, in order to use magic, there has to be a reason that you know it. So, like, you can't just, if, for example, Charles suddenly said, well, I want to make a, I want to enchant my chainsaw. I'm like, well, how the hell do you know how to do that? And his answer may very well be, I don't know. It's like, well, then you have to have there needs to be some fiction behind the magic. So like, oh, but there was that last episode where we talked with the priest and he blessed the thing and he showed me the way to do it. So I watched him and so I'd like to do, I'd like to use magic and enchant my chainsaw. I'm like, oh, okay, well that's totally supported by the fiction or the story. So do it. Let's roll. Let's have some fun. So there's what's that?
I saw Duma do it.
Oh, that too. So like, yeah, so you look at the effects when you have a chance of what these are the things that magic, that the kind of the general use magic skill can do, move can do. And then anything beyond that, including various like specialized rituals and stuff, suddenly that becomes big magic. And big magic is all about like, this is what you're sealing hellgates with and stuff. And you need more than just a quick dice roll to do it, or just a few disposable ingredients or something like that. This is going to take some stuff. So one of your bits of homework is to look over the use magic and big magic stuff in the books and kind of get an idea of at least what's going on there. So, and eventually, I mean, so if I had to guess, I'd say at first we're not going to be using a whole lot of use magic moves, but as we go, I think you guys are going to learn. You all are going to start learning stuff, and this is going to be a little more prevalent, I think, and especially for
Yeah.
Dumas, of course, is the freaking fallen angel. Has good reasons to use a bunch of it. So kind of just keep that in mind. And again, I do kind of ask that if you do have some
Yeah.
time, some of your homework is look at magic.
I feel like she's not as powerful as she was before she came down to Earth, but she's definitely still knows how to do magic.
Yeah. In this case, it comes down to knowledge. You know, how in the fiction do you know to do this? If you can say this is how and it's reasonable, then okay, let's do it. Let's do this thing.
So all
There's
Charles wants to learn is holy hand grenade. He wants
Holy
to make
hand.
a holy hand grenade.
that
So
that sounds more like big magic.
Looking over this, Duma has a +1 in weird. Everyone else has a -1 weird.
Yeah, so maybe watch out for those, magic spells. Pardon me.
Which
It's a little
which
bit
does
better
fit
than a
with the
grenade.
fiction. Because I mean, like the crooked, the mundane, the wronged are not necessarily playbooks that like automatically have magic stuff that they could do. It's
Yeah.
not like the divine. You could be like, oh, I'm a fallen angel, or if one of us had picked the spooky or the spell slinger, then we would just know magic. But we picked playbooks that are not weird, so we're all kind of like, this magic stuff is new.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Charles is just going to tape a crucifix to a grenade and throw it. It's holy now. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well,
You get the
she was
point.
around. She was around since the dawn of time, so it's okay.
There's that. So yeah, I just kind of want to put it out there. Yeah, in the beginning, we probably won't have a whole lot of that, except for maybe Dumas. But this is a basic move. So if you can show in fiction how you know it, this is a legitimate basic move for you to have. So kind of keep that in mind. It's out there. And my intention is to give you opportunities to learn about magic and that kind of thing, just by doing the thing. So cool. Yeah. So there's that. And I figure I'm going to keep the various moves. We don't have to go over those right now. Those will, we'll kind of cover those more in depth for learning purposes in play eventually. I can't imagine we're going to not use any of these. So there's that. But yeah. So let's see here. Let's go back here. Cool. So we have some time to kill. Actually, this time we have around 45 minutes. So I kind of wanted to hear, kind of go to each of you. Let's talk. Let's do a fireside chat. So like for example, this one. I asked this question with my kids on broom session, and I asked one of the players once too many times. I literally told you this before. I'm like, oh crap, I need to. I don't know, listen. So, for example, like Charles, what's your role playing game background? Or I'm sorry, Brian. Now we're talking to the player. Where do you come from to get here?
Okay. Tabletop gaming background. Good God.
And again, you have the. I just want to put out you have the option to not share.
Oh no,
So-
I have no problem with it. So
Oh, I get that.
I've been playing because I'm 33. I've been playing since I was 13 years old, and oh god, the first tabletop game I played. Okay, all I remember is the word Earth. I can't remember the full title of it. But I started back when we still had we didn't even have proper character sheets. We just used notebook paper. And then I went to the Chronicles of Darkness system, Vampire the Masquerade, when I went into college. And it's funny because the type of college I went to, I was a special effects artist. So I was trained by Tom Savini, Jerry Gergely, and shit. So we go make people into zombies and then go home and play tabletop games. It was amazing.
You
And-
didn't
So
LARP?
with
It seems like a wasted opportunity.
Dude, I went there. I went to Hollywood and everything. I just got burned out. I tried it for 9 years. one of the things I found that unless you have like someone to really help you get your foot in the door, or unless you just have that 1 in a million chance where you can get lucky and someone will give you a chance to prove yourself, you end up on the bottom tier of the totem pole for a long time. And I was just going like 5 days, no sleep, and working on so many projects, not getting accredited for it, that I was just, I'm gonna do this shit for myself now. I'll just make my own costumes and my own YouTube videos and have fun with it. I worked on one movie. It's called "It's My Party. I'll Die If I Want To." You can buy it on Amazon. I helped with the effects, and I'm an extra in the end. You can hear me say, "Hey, where the bitches at?"
Oh my god, that's your line.
Yep, that's my line. You just hear me say, you just hear, "Hey, where the bitches at?"
Oh my.
So, and for me, like the thing that honestly felt like a wasted opportunity is that I didn't go into acting. And that's why I always keep going back in the tabletop games, is because I love acting. I love doing voices and things. And everyone, you're gonna get sick of it eventually.
No, no, get out of town now. Come on, we're good. We're good. You're good. We're good. Everyone's good.
That actually can give you a little background for that. Literally, the first 3 voices I ever learned how to do. First one, if you remember Tom and Jerry. If you remember Droopy the dog, it was a very depressed dog. I learned that, and then of course I learned how to do Bill Clinton right after that. But then I learned how to do Ronald Reagan, because he's got that very famous quote, "Nancy, may I have some more jelly beans, please?" And
I thought that was Pacino there. I have to say.
No. Oh God, Pacino. That's a hard one. Closest I could ever come to with that is maybe in the same genre as Marlon Brando, which I did earlier. But
yeah, that sounds scary. That sounds scary as heck right there.
And then I just recently got into Roll20 and everything, and I'm like, where has this been all my life?
It's a handy thing, for true.
I've met some interesting groups. Like one of my other sessions we do, I have a dragonborn, because it's D&D 5e. In that entire match, I have to talk like this. Like we literally had the Hulk Hogan theme song playing for my entrance, and I was gonna tell you guys are gonna laugh your butt off at me, because when I get into my characters, I literally will start acting out what they're doing. So that character, I'm obsessed with muscles and wrestling. So there's literally points when I'm talking into the mic, I'm doing things like this. That's
so scary.
So I might do things like that with Charles, because that's how I've always found it's easier to get into characters, performing the mannerisms.
Cool, man. Cool. And the rest is history. Here you are.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, how about Jason? What's your gaming past, if you would like to share?
Well, I started DMing when I was 8. Not very well, but technically. And so I've been at this sort of stuff for over 30 years. I'm a very old man. You're off my lawn!
Get off your lawn, exactly. Yeah.
Old man.
It's your lawn, damn it.
Such lovely young people.
But I've always been playing just about everything that's out there, everything I could get my hands on. And didn't really start seriously doing anything online until a few years ago. And I'm like, oh, well, actually, no, I was doing some stuff online like 8 or 9 years ago, back well before there was Roll20, and I had to use Map Tool. And then I had my stroke and I wasn't playing online for quite a while. But then I started again a few years ago. And I've been doing a lot of different stuff. Blades in the Dark, Scum and Villainy, Runners in the Shadows, Beam Saber. I did a one-shot of Monster of the Week like a year and a half ago. What else have I played? A few one-shot and GM-less games like Our Queen Crumbled and The Face of Our Despair. I'm currently running a Beam Saber game on Sundays, looking to get a Scum and Villainy game going. I just need a few people. This is now starting. I've got another Beam Saber game starting on Saturday.
You are busy.
So, yeah, it's that disabled retired life. I have lots of free time, so I just sign up for all the role playing games.
Oh, thank you for spending some of it with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I should be thanking you. You're the one who picked me.
Oh yeah, how could I not? I mean, look,
Very easily.
Yeah, it's like you bring a lot to the game, and yeah, I'm happy to have you here. What's that?
Just elite. See, would be very easy to pass me up. So
You're doing fine. You're doing great. And next we have Emily, who is, again, this is her very first time actually playing Monster of the Week. Normally she's the keeper and has been for like ever, if you believe her stories.
Maybe not forever, but
She's immortal.
forever in dollars.
forever since I've been doing role-playing games. I was kind of late to the party because I didn't start playing RPGs until I was already an adult. I hear a lot of people talk about like how they've been doing it all their lives. But just a few years ago, I was a player in a Pathfinder campaign for the first time. And so I did Pathfinder for a little while. And just in the last, like about a year ago, I discovered the Monster of the Week system. And,
How long ago
I
was it?
got the book and about a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's been like a year that I've been running the game. And I read through the book and I kind of just fell in love with it. I love the system and I love how, we just went over character creation, but I love it. And I love coming up with different mysteries and creating monsters. But at the same time, I've never played and I kind of wanted to just do something where I'm not the one with the secrets, I'm the
Cool.
one sitting back and playing and solving
Causing
the
trouble.
mystery. Causing trouble, mostly.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad to give you the opportunity. That's awesome. So yeah, I have already
trouble.
Yeah, I have already asked Emily some important questions, clarifying some of the stuff, the rules, and it's awesome to have an expert with me. She doesn't like me to call her an expert, but she is. So I appreciate it, and that's awesome. And so last but not least, we have Cassie, who is desperately staying awake. Oh, there she is. She doesn't use very many frames, so that's cool.
Yes.
Yes. So what are your games, Cassie? Where'd you come from, RPG wise?
I mostly played like World of Darkness type games. The character that I'm currently playing was definitely inspired by one of the older like Demon the Fallen games.
Oh, neat. Very cool.
Which I never actually got to play, but I thought was really cool. So I was like thinking about some of the lore from that game when I made this character.
Yeah, I definitely love that book. That's really cool. Cool. And then you were, like I said, you were in my Blades in the Dark game, and basically you spent a lot of time blowing things heads off. There's a lot of head gray matter flying around wherever Cassie's character was. So yeah.
I played the Leech, but I really should have played the Hound, because all I really did in that game was just shoot people.
You had your shock gloves. Darn it. You had them. They're there.
Oh,
Yeah, she did a lot of shooting.
My leech in the last game was so much fun.
Cool.
Every time it was like, we're doing something sneaky. We need a distraction. Jason, go make a distraction.
Go make a distraction. Make something disappear.
It did
Yeah, I
not
did.
help that my inspiration I played was Krieger from Archer.
I did use some smoke bombs and stuff like that a few times. But
She was like a ninja-ish, you know. Cool. But yeah. I mean, we all come and again, I love that. Again, these are all very different players with very different philosophies on role play. We're coming from different places, but yet here we are meeting in the center here at Monsters Week down the road, and that's important. That says something, and I just hope we have again, participate. Get in there, get in the mix. Let's do stuff. Don't be shy.
yeah,
And the mechanics, again, they reward giving it a shot. And when things don't go right, something else happens, and plots advance in the background and stuff. There's a lot happening below the surface, and I think you're going to find it interesting, especially if it's your first time. So yeah,
I forgot to add, I do love doing unconventional things. That's one of my favorite things about role playing, is not taking the normal course of action. Let's go with the unconventional.
fair enough.
So
Well, you're doing a good job so far.
That makes me really excited. Because I'm known in all my other games, I always end up climbing on something. Hey, look, it's a giant monster. I'm going to climb it.
yeah. Something that I was interested in is what the various characters look like. Do you have any ideas what your character looks like?
Ooh, good question.
I would actually, I will go, and if someone else would like to go first, I'll wait. But I can go ahead and go if you would like.
I pulled a random picture off of Google image search, which I did go and put up in the Discord a while back. I can do that again.
Yeah, well, describe just for the viewers at home.
Hawk is somewhat tall, black hair, brown eyes, dark skin, lean, athletic woman who has a resting grump face and looks like a bad attitude.
Looks like under the dictionary for bad attitude says sea hawk.
She looks like trouble.
Don't mess with her.
She looks like trouble if you don't leave her alone.
Cool.
She is an absolute sweetie, though.
Awesome.
If you can,
if you get past the hard veneer.
If you're Fenrir.
If you're Fenrir.
I like that image that you've sort of given us, Jason, because I mean she looks like a tough girl, but at the same time she has +2 charm. So people just can't help but like her,
She used to work a lot of retail fast food. Has customer service voice down pat.
She's passed the Karen test more than one time.
Yeah. Customer service voice, also known as we talk for boomers.
Oh my god. All right. So cool. Anybody else? What's your character look like?
Charles is 45, about 6'2", maybe about 220. And when you see him, when he has his hat on, it's just a normal, stereotypical Stetson, black Stetson, and he wears a black duster. And he looks like a big old badass because he has the scar going across his left eye down. He's missing his eye. He walks with a limp. His left knee's gone. But if he takes off the hat and the jacket around you, that's when the image is going to be destroyed, because he's wearing a dad shirt and dad pants.
Does he wear socks with sandals?
Yes.
Please tell me
He-
yes. Thank goodness.
He's wearing Crocs. He's wearing Crocs with sandals. Okay.
Oh my! They have good gripping on the ground. They're breathable. They're very
like
utilitarian.
So you're gonna see this badass older man with covered in blood, but he takes it all off, and he's just, and you're just like, oh my god, is he? So, do I want to drink a beer with him, or am I going to expect him to like fix my internet?
Is he about to mow my lawn right now?
Exactly. So when he's dressed for action, you're like, oh man, that man could save me. When he's not dressed for action, you're like, oh dear God, we're doomed. Put down the dad jokes.
Oh my! Awesome. I like that. It's a different persona there, or look at least. Do you judge a book by its cover? There might be a Wendigo. So continue. So who else has a good look for their character?
I've been sort of imagining Darcy to be like kind of petite. I mean, she's a burglar. She's used to kind of getting in and out of places quickly. So I'm sort of imagining like, small, lithe, slight stature. Could have been a dancer if she hadn't become a criminal. Maybe because she's on the run from the law, she's like shaved her head or something and like dyed it some crazy color. Maybe she has like a fresh tattoo somewhere. She was like, well, this will help me, run from the law, right? But yeah, so kind of alternative looking, small, easy to get in and out of places.
Excellent. I can envision it. And we've already heard a decent amount about Dumas, the bad girl hot. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I imagine she's like about 5'6", very stocky, muscular build. Like she is definitely built. She has probably like short black hair with like an undercut, dark blue eyes. Leather jacket type thing. I think for the angel stuff, she has like the whole. You look into her eyes and you can like see stars like burning, like see the entire galaxy moving in her eyes.
Ooh, damn! That's not just a pickup line anymore. Oh well.
See, biker, butch, bad girl, angel, hot. This is why I can't trust Dumas.
I don't understand her.
You're far too attractive. I can't trust that.
I like that. Ironically, all three have like sort of alternative styles, and the normal guy is the one that doesn't fit in. Like Charles, who looks like a dad, doesn't fit in. Is our cover story that like he is our dad when people ask us?
God. Don't answer that. We will find out during play.
I'm going to tell you guys, I've actually already kind of come up with some plots that I'm going to surprise you with. I'm not revealing anything right now. This is all, I've got some things secret already planned. It's nothing that bad, but I think it'll be fun. I think you guys are going to love what I got planned.
Charles, cool. You can't ground me.
For the last damn time.
God damn it. Okay, that's one thing that you're going to reveal. Charles is going to get mad at Hawk at one point and try to ground her to the back of the RV.
Oh my God.
You can't ground someone in my RV.
Little lady, I am twice your age. You will listen to me.
You don't understand.
Oh my God. Don't waste all this energy. Don't waste it all before you get to actual play. This is, hold that in. Hold it in. Let it fester and build.
It's just the type of like little things that I'm going to be adding.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm only like 14 billion years older than you.
Oh, don't worry. Actually, with everything I've gotten from Dumas so far, I've already gotten some things planned for Dumas too. So this is going to be great.
Cool.
I'll just say right now, Dumas is basically always going to whoop Charles's ass in arm wrestling, and Charles refuses to listen to it. Like, do it again.
All right.
And just
So a couple several more
Every
things.
so
What
so
was that?
often Hawk gets annoyed with people and will just step out of the RV while it's in motion. You have no idea where she is, but eventually she turns up.
Good times
I
or head
love
by.
it.
So let's see. So a couple things I did want to cover before I forget. So again, you have what I generally like to do is give A, homework, and then B, stuff to talk about in Discord. So your homework is learn a little bit about magic, read the book, and of course get familiar with your own what do you call it, playbook. Get familiar with it. Again, you're in charge of it when all is said and done. Again, I'm going to do my very best to make sure any of your like playbook moves, when they trigger, they get triggered. But it's on you to kind of remind me if I don't. And again, I want to impress on every one of you that I don't have that kind of ego where I don't, where it upsets me to be reminded or that kind of thing. I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool, because that means that I want to improve the experience for all of you, and I'm not an expert at this system yet. So hit me with it. Let me know when, hey, I really think that this move of mine triggers. What do you think? And maybe it does. And I just didn't totally forgot about it. So
your homework is to figure out somewhere in the mystery slot in that I get captured.
Oh, that's not a problem. That's not even a challenge there. But okay, so that's your homework. So yeah, so get familiar with your playbook, read about magic. The Discord work for this week is only because I don't think we have that much time. We have 20 minutes. I'm not sure if that's enough to hash out what the name of the organization you work for is, or your freelance. I suppose you guys are really more freelancers than actual employees per se. You're employed on a case-by-case basis, and you're not retained. There's no health plan, by the way. Shocker.
I was about to say they did that so they don't have to give us benefits.
Hello, capitalism.
And like government limitations and plausible deniabilities, and we will disavow all knowledge of your actions.
Exactly. Yeah, you're.
And I'll be like, seriously, you had to steal from that movie.
What's that?
I'm like, seriously, guys, you had to steal that line from that movie.
Which one?
Disavow all knowledge of your actions.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. Yes, Mission Impossible for those of you out there playing. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine that the money is like filtered through like a charity that's fronted for you guys. Oh, we just donate to this charity, and we didn't even know it went to these ruffians, et cetera, et cetera. Totally disavowable. So there's that. So on your Discord, thing is, let's chat about what the name of this group is, what the name of this company is that you work for. One thing I did want to ask of Charles is, what is a Wendigo? So is it a Bigfoot type creature, or is it a lycanthrope type creature? Is it always a Wendigo, or is it a human that can turn into a Wendigo? Or what's a Wendigo?
I'm actually going to break this in for you now. So I'm taking
50 words or less.
Okay, kind of like the Native American legend. It would just be a humanoid. If you cannibalize someone in the Canadian wilderness, you become this sort of Bigfoot creature that eats people.
Like forever or sometimes?
Always. If you're in the Canadian wilderness, you cannibalize someone, you turn it into a Wendigo. That's why they're always around.
Why is the supernatural got to pick on Canada? Literally everybody loves Canada. It's like, except the supernatural.
It's those woods, man. They're creepy. They're creepy and scary.
That feels like an extremely avoidable fate.
Yeah, cannibalize somebody outside of Canada. You're fine.
Look, you're trapped in the snowy wilderness. You are cold. You only have one person with you. You're like, look, that leg looking scrumptious.
The whole idea is that your body is taken over because you perform the act of ultimate evil. You become literally evil incarnate. And so Wendigo is kind of almost like a cannibalistic winter spirit that takes over the body of one who commits cannibalism, take it over, and all it can seek out and survive is living human hearts. And so it's part Bigfoot Yeti type thing.
That's 100% correct.
Yes, I am Canadian.
Yeah, and to commit the ultimate evil, you have to eat a Canadian. It has to be a Canadian. Because again, if it's someone else from another country, it's like, yeah, okay, that was bad, but it wasn't evil, But oh my god, you ate a Canadian? Oh my god, everybody loves Canadians. How can you not do that? Oh my god.
Although the tribe in question does prefer people don't actually use that word, it's one of those off-limit words because it's part of the legends is to speak the word is to summon the spirit.
That's actually going to be part of Charles's past. That's why he didn't recognize the evil. Is that he was told the terminology that they were using, and he was just, I don't care about that, and he just left. When in all actuality, they were speaking about the Wendigo legend, and he was just, nah. I want to shoot a deer.
Seems like you could just, not eat people. I mean, I don't know. I'm not.
It's choosing to commit the act of ultimate evil transforms you, on a spiritual level.
Emily, you're a little too pragmatic here, Emily. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. I'm not like the morality. Maybe don't do that.
I have a feeling you might actually be the moral compass of the group.
Oh my goodness.
Because Dumas is my moral compass.
Boom. Cool. So I kind of wanted to establish that. Obviously, I think it's not a real big mystery that at some point you might just happen to hop into a Wendigo. I don't know. It'll happen. So there's that. So yeah, is there anything else anybody want to add? Otherwise, we'll probably cut a little short today. I kind of covered everything I wanted to. You guys are awesome. I love the fact that, you're already gelling as a group. I can just see the cogs turning, what everyone is, how everyone is thinking they're going to interact with the others. And the character generation was awesome. I think you're all, again, the moves themselves are designed to kind of feed into the drama, into the campaign, itself. So that's awesome, and you guys have picked some good ones. And you gave me a lot to work with, so that's pretty cool. So I really do appreciate that. And again, you can just see stuff already coming together. I can only imagine once we actually get into things how well it's going to kind of go down. There's gonna be some terror. There's gonna be some good times. There may be some beers, that type of thing. But anyone else have anything they want to cover before we get the heck out of Dodge?
We are gonna be so fun at the slice of life scenes. Just saying.
I'm really looking forward to the scenes in between hunting. Those are going to be the best.
It's kind of something of a disaster family going on, which are my absolute favorite kinds of groups in games.
Honestly, I'm really excited. This group already just feels great. You guys are great.
Cool.
Arguing over directions. Where did my dog go? Who touched the Freddie Mercury bobblehead?
All important stuff.
Dawson,
we obviously
is that Freddie Mercury in the dashboard?
Yes.
Listen to Queen while we're on the road. Because, as you know, any album left in a vehicle for more than 2 weeks transforms into a Best of Queen album.
Yes.
Yes. Also, just for so we have it. This is the only map we have so far. I'm not a big map user, but this is a good one to have.
The RV map.
It's our home away from home.
So yes, this is the only map I have.
No, it's our home.
It's literally your home, yeah.
We don't have another one.
The question is who gets what bed?
Yeah, that's really. In fact, you know what? Hash that out in Discord. I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to go, and then we can continue trying to figure out who goes where.
This is going to be the most important question. Charles is immediately getting a bunk bed. Who's sharing the bunk bed with Charles?
Oh my.
Let's argue in character in Discord over who sleeps where. That feels so fun.
Awesome.
Let's argue about who sleeps where.
Oh my.
Yes, perfect.
So that was cool. So yeah, so next week will be our first actual play session. As I think everyone here knows, I'm doing 2 simultaneous campaigns, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm doing Kids on Brooms on Tuesdays, and Monster Week here on Thursdays, and then I'm doing a 1-hour talk show on Sundays. So I've got my plate full. I have to think of a whole lot of plots, a whole lot of arcs. But the knowing that each group's set of characters and whatnot, are working so well already, it makes it a bit easier. So that's really neat, especially for me. So let's see here. So with that, why don't we say goodbye to our players for now? Let's start off with Charles, or actually, I'm sorry, the players. Brian over here.
Alrighty, bye everyone. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to all of our future endeavors.
Awesome. And we got Jason.
Well, I have no idea what this group's going to do, but it's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad. Capital B bad.
It's going to go so bad.
Which is good. All right, then we have Emily.
Bye-bye.
And last but absolutely not least, Cassie.
Okay, I'll see you later.
All right, and I, of course, am Scott. Scott's Case Files. This channel you're watching. If you're watching me on Twitch, all my stuff is down in the about. Otherwise, if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description below. So yeah, check us out. This is gonna be a really cool campaign. I'm looking forward to everything I'm running right now. It's pretty cool, and it's gonna be a good time. So with that, I leave you be. Go forth, do no harm, have some fun, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll see you on this station in a week. And bye for now.